And the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all this evening. First thing on the agenda is approval of a couple set of minutes from the adjourned November 12th council meeting and the November 12th regular council meeting. Were there any questions, corrections, changes, comments? None? If not, then those minutes will be approved as submitted. Next item, report of the town manager, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Mayor Black, members of council. I do have a few things to advise you of this evening. First off, I want to let you know we've been meeting with VDOT regarding the McGee Street Bridge project. Since the State of Good Repair grant was awarded back in 2020, there has been significant inflation that has affected the projected cost of those repairs. We're currently in the process of applying some value engineering as well as seeking additional funding from both VDOT and other sources, but we have advised VDOT that this remains a priority and we wish to see it move forward as expeditiously as possible. Next item is an administrative matter. We are looking to make some changes in the public service hours within the treasurer's office. Specifically, direct service hours when the doors are open would end at 4:30 p.m. instead of 5 o'clock. This would allow our employees to process their direct work related to closing and balancing cash drawers on a daily basis, as well as complete their several other tasks that are not related to waiting on people to pay money. The employees' regular business hours would remain the same, but this will hopefully cut down on the need for staff to work beyond regular office hours, which has been a growing issue over the past several months, and we've incurred a lot of overtime charges there. This would also be in line with what the county treasurer is doing and would take effect January 1st. Also want to advise town offices will be closed briefly on Friday, December 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our annual employee appreciation luncheon event. Town offices will also be closed in conjunction with the holidays as follows: December 24th and 25th in recognition of Christmas, and January 1st to celebrate New Year's Day. And I'll conclude on a personal note by extending my personal thanks to Mayor Black, Councilman Johansson, and Councilman Carson for your service on town council. I appreciate your support, your obvious devotion to the community, and your ability to tackle difficult and complicated issues during your time in a very tactful manner, and you will certainly be missed by staff, and we wish you well. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Warner? No. All right. With that, we'll move to appearances before council. We have two people signed up this evening. If you would you just come up, give your name and your address, and give us your thoughts. The first person is Philip Biles. Mr. Biles.
Good evening. I'm Philip Biles at 3289 Peaks Road. I'm one of the pastors at Bedrock Community Church, and just on behalf of Bedrock, leaders, thank you. Thank you for your service, for what you do for this town, for some different things. For those of you all that are phasing off, thank you for your years of service. I know there are some in the room that are coming on. I just wanted to say our appreciation to each of you. Being a leader is hard, right? Sometimes you have to make some decisions that are very difficult and challenging. Sometimes the decisions we make are pretty easy and fun. I want to read a passage of scripture, if I may, for you. Our church is memorizing in this time of Christmas time, Romans 15:13. It says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." We pray that for you all this evening and leading into the days ahead and the years ahead, that you would abound in hope, that God would fill you in that in your decision making. Can I pray for us this evening?
Yes.
God, thank you very much for this opportunity that we have to gather together here this evening. Thank you for the town of Bedford. God, thank you for the men and women representing the leadership of this town. You have empowered with them the decisions, the choices that they have made to further the development and all the different decisions made for this town. God, if you are the God of hope, would you fill each of them with joy and peace in this season, so by your power of the Holy Spirit they may abound in hope even more. The decisions that come ahead, those decisions even made tonight to close out a year, those coming into the new year. All the things that you have planned for us, God, that we keep our eyes and hearts focused on you. Thank you for your son, Jesus, that we can celebrate his birth in the next couple weeks. God, thank you for the love you have for each of us. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you all.
Thank you. Next, Teresa Haley.
It's Teresa Haley, 1308 Emerald View Court, Bedford, Virginia. Mayor Black, Bruce Johannesson, and Robert Carson, first and foremost, I wanted to express my deep gratitude to thank each and everyone for being on council. This is a bittersweet moment as we start a new journey. I have learned so much from each and every one of you, and I've had the opportunity to get to know each of you both personally and professionally during your time here. I am wishing you all the best on your next adventure. Thank you for your positivity. Your hard work will be greatly missed. Farewell and stay in touch. I told you I was going to see you off. I did what I said I was going to do.
Thank you. Thank you. No one else signed up. Anybody else wish to speak before I close the appearances before council? Okay. Next item is council comments. So we'll just go around the dais here. We'll start with you, Council Foreman.
All right. Well, I want to say we had some great events this weekend, and thank everybody for attending, and thank those who put on those events, the parade, the tree lighting, and the tree lighting and the foot race. The police officer did a great job at them, and our staff did a great job there, the public works. I also wanted to thank Councilman Carson, Councilman Johannesson, and Mayor Black for your service. You led through some difficult times and had some difficult situations, and you did well, and I appreciate the leadership you've had, and I've learned from you myself as I've watched and been here. And then I just want to thank the audience for being here tonight, too. Thank you.
Well, this is my last night with you all. And it has been my pleasure to serve the town of Bedford for these past several years. I've always come just to help the town. That's my only reason for being here. And I really appreciate everybody's work on the town. I think we're getting better. We have a lot of really neat projects that are getting ready to either start or complete. And I think the town will be better off for a number of the things that we've been able to get going here. So the other thing is the Christmas programs over this past weekend have been great. John Hayden did a great job of the Centertown Christmas tree. The parade came off. Y'all always start in front of my house, which I think is appropriate. And saw a lot of interesting vehicles and parts there. My dog Finn loved them, so he was real happy with the parade. Other than that, thank you for putting up with me for all these years.
So, no, I don't want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Thank you for the prayer. We did have some great events this weekend. The parade turned out great. The Christmas lighting was turning out very well. I was there. A lot of people was there that night. The marathon in town was very organized, so we didn't have no problem with that. I just want to say, you know, we got 3 people leaving today, and they've been up here for several years or whatever. You know, they've been great. I remember during last year's election, we pulled together as a team, and that's the whole part of being on council, being a team, working together, trying to solve problems and helping the citizens of the town. All we're here to do is try to help. We'll disagree on things, we'll agree on things and stuff like that. And I'll give you a couple of funny moments, like Mr. Johansson over here. He changed his cell phone with Sarah sometime in the past, and every time I call his cell phone, I call Sarah instead of calling him. So Bruce we had some interesting conversations about things, and Bruce is always a good person to call about common sense and thing. Mr. Carson, he always invites me into his house over there. I'm sitting in his house several times, talk to him about things. So, you know, we're all friends. And I got to keep the last for the end. Mr. Black, Mayor Black. You know, I'll tell you a funny story that happened Saturday. Mayor Black rode in the parade for his last time. He should have rode with John Messer in his hearse instead of sitting holding his car.
I ain't dead yet.
He went down to Clamdergers and got the last oysters that they had, so that was the last oyster, and tonight is his last meeting. You know, me and Mr. Black, we're buddy his over the years, and he's been a great friend. He would call me, and we would talk about things and stuff like that. But I think one of his proudest moments being on council, when he became mayor, his parents was here to see him become mayor of the town right before they passed. I think he was proud of that. They were very important people in this town, and they saw his little boy become mayor of this town. So. Thank y'all for everything.
I changed my mind. I ain't going. No, I just want to say it was thank all of you for being here. Thank each and every one of you. Some of you, I've seen you at just about every meeting. I want to thank the council members that I have become friends with. We've talked, we've disagreed, but we've accomplished some things. And I want to thank you, and it's been a pleasure serving with you. We tried to do our best, and it hasn't always been easy. It's been, honestly, kind of ugly sometimes, but we came through it. We did. We had a wonderful weekend in Bedford this weekend. It reminds me of the old town, because all day Saturday, Bedford was full of people. It was live all day Saturday, and it was wonderful. This is what we hope to get back to, where we don't have to have something special to bring people to downtown Bedford. We hope to get back there. And to the newcomers that's coming in, once again, congratulations, but good luck to you. I think you're gonna do a fine job, but you gotta remember one thing. We don't own the city. It doesn't belong to us. We are servants of the people of the town of Bedford. If we can keep that in mind, we'll be all right. It's all about them. But I thank everybody that believed in me and gave me the opportunity to serve in this capacity. And I'm not gonna fade away. You'll see me somewhere else doing something else. I'm just not just sit down tight. But thank each and every one of you for your kind words. Thank you for your support, for your understanding. And I know we're going to continue to move forward. No doubt in my mind. Thank you.
I'd like to also thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Pastor, for the prayer. You know, Mr. Carson here, he sort of embodies the words that I was going to say about the outgoing council. There's a lot of wisdom that's leaving the council here, and there'd be some votes that we would have, and whether or not those words were meant for me or if it was just Mr. Carson thinking out loud, I'd hear the chair squeaking to go, yeah, we made a mistake. Or, we did good tonight. Yeah. We're heading in the right direction. Oh, we're good. You know, and, you know, like, just little lessons like that to learn. And there's just a lot of lessons I hadn't learned yet. And, you know, things like when to speak with passion and when to temper that passion. Lord help y'all, because I haven't learned those lessons yet, and I don't know what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it, you know, for the next couple of years. But you know, we talked about things that's going on this weekend, and again, Mr. Hayden did just a heck of a job. That snow machine that he had, oh, my grandkids loved that thing. They were playing in the snow and stuff. That was a good touch, real good touch. I had heard a lot of good comments about the parade and how it was moving, and the welcome center and the trees and stuff. People loving those kinds of things. A lot of people loving a lot of stuff about what's going on in town. That's good to hear. That kind of wraps up what I got. So I guess we got to hold on. So I guess, Mayor, it's yours turn now.
Well, we'll let the Vice
we
Mayor,
got the Vice Mayor.
first.
Well, again, I want to thank everyone for being here. Had a busy Saturday. The foot race, Christmas parade, then the tree lighting. It was a very busy day. I did not take part in the foot race, but the other two I did. Maybe someday. I too want to thank everybody for coming, but I want to say a few words about the ones leaving. You know, it's kind of one of those bittersweet moments, to be perfectly honest. You hate it, but, you know, change is inevitable. You know, nobody is going to be here forever. Some are going to rotate off, not decide to run again, not to be reelected, but it happens. All of us are going to be gone at some point. Not the dirt nap, just off council. But nonetheless, I've enjoyed working with all three of these gentlemen. I could say a few stories about all of them. And Bruce, I mean, I sit over here sometimes at the meetings, and Bruce at times doesn't have to say a word. I can look over at him and just the look on his face like, what are we doing? Why are we here? Why are we not going home by now? I can read him like I read a book. Councilman Carson, I will say I knew you in years gone by. I knew his son when he played sports at Liberty, a very great athlete, went to JMU. But I've gotten to know Bob a lot better being on council, and I appreciate those times. He's very active in his neighborhood there, does a lot of work over there. Got the park over there changed to the Beulah Payne Park name, and still doing a lot of work over there. And as he keeps telling me, we still have work to do, and well, we'll support it in every way we can. Now Mayor Black, what can we say here? I have a few things to read at some later on, but it has been very, very interesting and entertaining. And I will say I've had the privilege, really, to serve with a number of very good mayors. You can look at that wall over there and see, I can go right down the list that I've learned from a lot of them. They all have their different personalities, their ways of doing things that you have to adapt. And I've enjoyed working with you, Tim. Some of the morning calls, yes, I kept my phone by my side, which I usually did not do, but I knew it was coming. So, but it's been fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But as Stacy said, a council is not here to agree on everything. We are going to disagree on things. And as Mike Shelton told me years ago, and I've repeated this a number of times, he pulled me aside one meeting shortly after I came on council and told me, he said, CG, I'm going to tell you how this works. There are going to be things when you and I totally agree on, and that's great. But there are going to be things when you and I totally disagree on. But whichever way the vote goes, whatever way it falls, when we walk out that door, we are still friends. Never let any of this come between a friendship. I never forgot that. And I've been true to the word on all of that. I've never had a disagreement with anyone that I let affect our friendship. And Tim is very good at times of stirring the pot. Let's just put it that way. So, there's been times I think, whoa, do I want to bang my head? Yes. But it's been fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. And I've said this many times before, and I'm going to say the politically correct version. I pity the person that comes after you, because they're not going to be able to do as much, not going to probably do quite as much and not be as active as you were. You've done a great job, and it's been an honor to have served with you.
Thank you all. Real quick, Saturday was a wonderful day. It's always one of my favorite days in Bedford. You know, the streets are alive with the foot race, the parade. My gosh, the parade keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. And it was quite an experience. This year I had the honor and I invited the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, the Honorable Edgar Tuck, to ride with me. So that was a good time riding through town and chatting. So I think that was a good gesture, and we enjoyed spending Saturday morning together. The tree lighting, that continues to get better and better every year. You know, farmers market had a farmers market, and the Chamber of Commerce had a vendors. I mean, it was just. I tell you, by the time I got home Saturday night, I was ready to sit down. That's for sure. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that helped put those events on, from town staff, from you know, the vendors and volunteers that showed up and to support that. So that's what Bedford is all about, is, you know, building a strong community. Real quick, before I make some final comments, I do I've got a few items here I'd like to present. Mr. Carson, you know, he's been on councils several times and has always served this community well. Like Vice Mayor Stanley said, he's been instrumental here in the past year of helping the town get the park back that we renamed the Beal Payne Memorial Park, also known as the Ball Diamond. You know, that was a long and drawn out process, negotiating with the school board, and Mr. Carson wouldn't let us give up on that, and the town's better off for that, having that back in its fold. Mr. Carson and I'll tell you, you know, he'd call me. He said, "Come over here and sit on the porch and, you know, talk to me." And so, you know, we need to ride around. I need to show you some things. So I'm gonna still come over and sit on your porch, Mr. Carson. Come on. And enjoy those conversations, okay?
Bring Stacy.
The town has a little token of appreciation for your service to this community, and we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Johanneson's, I think, served on council since 2015. Been instrumental in a lot of things here. We've accomplished over the last 10 years or so. He's served the community on the Central Virginia Planning District Commission for so someone's going to have some big shoes to fill there going forward. So we appreciate his service there as well. Mr. Johanneson, a lot of you probably don't know, but he's pretty much primarily responsible for these flowers that hang up in downtown. He supports that with his own funds, and takes the time and the energy to make sure they're watered and look beautiful. So that's something that probably a lot of you don't know, but we need to say thank you for him as well. Bruce has been a steady voice in a lot of decisions that we've had to make. Like I said, as some of you said, there's been some tough ones, and that's fine. I've always respected Bruce and appreciated his counsel. Like I said, he didn't speak much, but when he does, you better be listening. So Bruce, we got the town also has a little gift for your service, and we appreciate you as well. Appreciate it.
I'll do you first.
All right, you do me first, and then you'll let me speak my 10-minute speech.
I don't have much time.
That's right.
So it's back to me again. I've said a few things, but I've got a few more things. Tim was first elected to council in 2014. During his time on council, he also served as vice mayor, beginning in 2021, and served as mayor from 2021 to the present, served as vice mayor from 2017 to 2021. His public service on council is truly only one aspect of his contribution to the community, as he has been an active member and supporter of several organizations and initiatives, including his lifelong encouragement of his alma mater, Liberty High School. Even as Tim steps away from this role, we expect he will continue to be a loyal member of the community. Tim is also a very strong supporter of JMU sports. That's also his, I don't know, first or second alma mater. In fact, I'll say this here, weekend before last, I don't know if it was a good thing or a curse. I got 4 tickets to the JMU Marshall football game, and I don't know what possessed me, but decided to pull the trailer up there for the weekend, Friday through Sunday. 20-degree weather during the day, 15 at kickoff time. So me, my wife, my oldest son, and his daughter came up at kickoff time. It was 15 degrees, and it went into 2 overtimes of all the games to go into overtime. So that's why I'm probably a little stopped up now. I paid the price, but stayed the whole game. And anyway, we had tickets, and Tim did not go. He said, I'm going to sit at home and watch it, but you all just go down to where my seats are, which was very grateful because they were lower down and the wind didn't hit us quite as much, but it was still rough. But nonetheless, we've had some really good times. I've enjoyed serving with Tim. I've enjoyed my years gone by previously, but this has been, and I say this sincerely, it's been entertaining and a learning experience with this bunch right here. We've accomplished a lot. Tim has been the lead dog on a lot of these things and pushed, I would say, the limits as much as he can, possibly could. I've heard the name, lightning rod used. I'm not sure at times he wasn't the lightning. But again, I do appreciate everything you've done. We've agreed on a lot of things and have accomplished a lot of things. We've disagreed on a few, but nonetheless, that's what we're here for, to make decisions as to what is best for the town and the community moving forward. And again, it's been an honor and a pleasure for me to serve with you, Tim, and we'll miss all of you all, but I'll miss you. And you are welcome to call me every morning, evening, whenever you want to. Thank you again. And with that, let me present this token of our appreciation to you.
Well, you know, my fellow council members know I like to speak and can get long-winded at times. I told them I was going to have about a 10-page speech and kind of review everything we've done over the last 10 years and remind them of all the things that they still need to get accomplished going forward. But no, first and foremost, you know, this has been a humbling experience, and it's been my deepest honor to serve my hometown. I grew up here, graduated from high school here, lived most of my life here. I spent, 8 years in that big city of Richmond and couldn't get back to the mountains fast enough. But it has, and I first and foremost, I want to thank the citizens of this great town, those who have supported me over the years, those that have disagreed with me over the years. That's fine. That's what makes for better decision making for our council members. I mean, if we all agreed on every little issue, you might not make the right decision or the best decision. So I've appreciated the input that I've received from every citizen over the years, and I'm gonna miss those conversations, whether it's at the grocery store or the farmer's market. the football game, or wherever. You know, I will definitely miss those. To my fellow council members, I appreciate your support. You know, we've done a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff still to be done. You know, and then I know you all will pick up the new council members. You know, can pick it up and continue to move this community forward as we try to make this the best place to live, work, and play that we can. Like I said, there's been moments, tense moments. That's okay, but there's been plenty of moments where we've you know, relaxed and enjoyed each other's company, and I truly do appreciate the relationships we've built, you know, and the friendships that have developed over time. And like I said, I'll try not to call you every morning at 7:30 CG. Yeah, but you know, going forward, I mean, that's one thing I did try to strive to do, is communicate as much as I could with all 6 other members of this council. I think the more people know, the more information you have. You know, the back and forth sometimes to, you know, floating ideas off of each other, you know, it ends up creating a better product for our citizens, and I've always enjoyed that challenge. Like CG said, you know, if I'm passionate about something, you know, I'm gonna be doggedly passionate about it, you know, and I'm not gonna shy away from that, you know. But to the staff, to Mr. Warner, and all the department heads and all employees of this town, thank you. You know, I know I've challenged you all. You've challenged me. You know, you've educated me. And you know, when I started this 10 years ago, I had no idea ever I would serve on town council growing up in this community. You know, I was glad that I took this opportunity, and I've certainly enjoyed every bit of it. But you know, the people that do this on a day-to-day basis, you know, yes, we make some decisions and we provide direction, but they're the ones that are taking care of our citizens and providing the services that they expect. And you know, I commend you on the job you all do, and I expect you'll continue to do that, even in challenging times. Like I said, I'm gonna cut it off at that. I do really sincerely have enjoyed this opportunity, and it has been a true honor. And I'm gonna miss it at times. Other times I'll be sitting at the beach. I won't be I won't be missing it. But anyway, I wish all of you the best of luck as you continue next year serving in this role. You'll see me around. I won't bother you, you know, unless I get passionate about something. Then you'll hear from me. But anyway, if I can ever help any of you that can, you know, are serving on this council, please reach out to me. Once again, thank you, and thank the citizens of Bedford for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
And that was 10 pages. I was counting.
Now, Bob, you know that was short for me. With that, we're going to move in real quick, move on to the, I don't think we have any council committee reports and no revisions to the agenda. All right, so first item is a consent agenda item to request to close the streets for the Bedford County Courthouse roofing project.
AAR Roofing was the apparent low bidder for a roofing project on the Bedford County Courthouse. This project will require the use of a crane, which will be provided by Lynchburg Crane. The crane will be set up on Court Street and will require closure of the street from Main Street to Depot Street to ensure safety. They anticipate the street closure will be from December 16th through December 20th. and they have already coordinated this plan with Operations Division Police Captain Shannon Walker. AAR Roofing is requesting approval to install the crane and close the street from December 16th through 20th, 2024.
All right. Do we have a motion to grant the request to close the street?
So moved.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Foreman, second from Councilman Carson. Any discussion, questions? No? All right, roll call.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson? Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, next item is we have a presentation from Mr. Doug Berry for plans of Vietnam War Memorial here in the town of Bedford. Mr. Berry, if you'd kind of give us an update on your project and let us know what we need to know on that.
Good evening, Mayor Black and Town Council. My name is Doug Berry. I reside at 323 Long Hill Road in Good. And I'm here with the Bedford Vietnam Veterans Memorial to give you just an update on where we are with our initiative to erect a memorial in Bedford. Before I begin my update, if you'll indulge me just for a moment, I would like to ask that if we have any Vietnam veterans in the room, if you could please rise to be recognized. As a retired colonel from the United States Army, I would personally like to thank our Vietnam veterans for their service to our nation and welcome you home. I salute you for your service. On this 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, it's only appropriate to recognize our Vietnam veterans for their faithful service to our nation. To recap our project, in 2007, a local Vietnam veteran had a vision of having a memorial to honor men from Bedford County who died in Vietnam, placed in Bedford. At that time, his vision was sound, but it failed to get the support of the local community. In June of 2024, that same veteran and another Vietnam veteran made calls in the area to other veterans who have an interest to form a board to discuss the feasibility of making this memorial a reality. The board was formed in June. The board members from a variety of vocations were broken into committees and task forces to address the areas of expertise. Meeting every 2 weeks for updates and in-process reviews, we have met up to this point 11 times. The design of the memorial was the largest challenge, as you can imagine. The image you see before you is the finalized approved design. I'll speak to that. The column in the middle will have names of 13 men who died in Vietnam. Using the resources available, we feel that this is the final list. That said, provisions have been made in the rare event that we discover additional names so that they can be added. On top of the column will be a bronze battlefield cross. The battlefield cross is a memorial that honors fallen soldiers and is made up of soldiers' boots, helmet, rifle, and dog tags. It is also known as a fallen soldier battlefield cross, a battle cross, or soldier's cross. The left wing of the memorial has a compilation of verbiage that captures the raw emotions and words of Vietnam veterans serving during the Vietnam War and those who served in combat zones during that time frame. After personally interviewing Vietnam veterans, visiting hundreds of memorials, and literally viewing thousands of images of memorials throughout our nation, we feel these words captured the emotional essence of how they felt during this violent and very costly war. I'll read to you what the left verbiage says. Men and women who served protecting our freedom, they fought without America's support. They returned without America's welcome. Some survived, enduring lifelong struggles of pain of some sort. Some sacrificed it all, answering the call. There's nothing more noble than fighting for and risking your life for your country. The right wing of the memorial has the iconic soldiers depicted, which can be seen at the National Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. This wing is to remind us that the national level and service of our men and women who served during the Vietnam War should never be forgotten, thus never forget. The board has involved and sought the approval for the space in front of the courthouse to place the memorial. To date, the County Board of Supervisors has approved the project placement. Additionally, Mr. Hess, Judge Updike, and our chairman, Mickey Johnson, have signed a memorandum of agreement to solidify this memorial placement. We feel that this is a historic act and we need to document it accordingly. It is my understanding that the town council has been made well aware of what we were doing. I wanted to give you this update, but we want to extend a thank you for your support to this date. So thank each of you for indulging us. The cost of the memorial for the design, the granite, the inscription, and installation is estimated at $30,000. The board's goal was to raise $50,000 to offset unforeseen costs, increased material and labor rates, and the long-term maintenance of the memorial, not to be incurred by the town or the county. To date, through the generous donations of the American Legions throughout Virginia, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Purple Heart Foundations, and the various other associations supporting veteran services, along with numerous citizens of Bedford and those that I coined Friends of Bedford, I'm pleased to announce we are on track to meet all funding goals and that we will not require any funding assistance from the city or the county, or the town or the county. The Bedford Vietnam Veterans Memorial has partnered with our local American Legion Post 54, and through a ratified memorandum of agreement, Post 54 is our fiduciary agent, making all donations tax-free for our donors. The takeaway for this body is that we're not asking for any funding, nor will we. We only want your continued support as we move forward to our proposed dedication date in November of 2025. There will be things that we need to coordinate. Mr. Warner, you'll be hearing from me more tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
Likewise. Subject to your questions, this is a brief overview of where we are with our Bedford Vietnam Veterans Memorial that we're so proud of and can't wait to see. And I hope that each of you had an opportunity to see a mock-up of this memorial in our Christmas parade on Saturday. I think it was not only emotional, but it gave you an idea of what's to come. Thank you for this opportunity. Subject to your questions, this completes my update.
Does anybody have any questions?
Covered it all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Just real quick, I would like to thank you all for, putting this together, taking on this task, and helping the community remember our Vietnam veterans who passed away from Bedford County, and those who served. My uncle was in Vietnam as well, and I know how emotional this is for those veterans, and this is long overdue. And those in the community that haven't had a chance to support this with their donations, I would ask you to consider that in this given season.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Next item is getting into a few finance things here, and a budget amendment for an electric underground circuit upgrade at Hope's Way.
The electric department has identified that the underground circuit serving Hope's Way requires replacement. The current circuit has failed 4 times over the prior 6 months. The electric department has received a quote from a contractor for the upgrade, which was $23,196. The department anticipates additional costs for internal labor and material, although these costs are typically charged to an operations and maintenance account. Staff would like to request a budget amendment from the capital contingency line item towards the capital expenditure account for this infrastructure improvement and extension in the amount quoted by the contractor. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the budget amendment, which will appropriate funds appropriately in the amount of $23,196 to the expenditure line item identified from the expenditure, a decrease in the expenditure line item entitled contingency, and an increase in the line item infrastructure improvements and extensions.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the requested budget amendment for the underground circuit?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Updike, second by Councilman Carson. Any questions on this particular project? I did ask Ann just at the start, because we got a few of these items, and if you could just kind of give us an update of where we stand in that contingency, you know, so the council just has a feel for where we kind of stand on that, and as we kind of approve these things moving forward, you know.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. So we have approved or appropriated $1,047,008 for capital contingency in this fiscal year. To date, we have moved out $316,346. So that leaves roughly $730,000 to be appropriated. Now tonight, there are $203,000 of items for you on the agenda, so that would drop your balance to $526,000. So if we're looking at December, you are at roughly 50% of the original contingency budget. I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if you need anything.
No, I think that's what we wanted to just kind of have a feel for where we were.
Get an idea.
So we're 50% through the year, and we're about
Yeah.
50% through the budget, so far so good.
Yeah, doing good.
All right. Any other questions or comments? No? All right, roll call.
Mr. Carson,
Aye.
Mr. Foreman,
Aye.
Mr. Haley,
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson,
Aye.
Mr. Stanley,
Aye.
Mr. Updike,
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right. Next item is a budget amendment for an electric fault detector replacement.
The electric department experienced an unexpected failure on its underground fault locator. This device is used to identify a fault in underground utility service, which allows the department to perform immediate repairs to restore power. A quote was received from High Voltage Incorporated to obtain a new locator. The total cost to replace the equipment was $32,330. An emergency contract was posted on the town's website and awarded on October 31st, 2024. Tonight, Town Council is requested to follow up and approve the below budget amendment, which will appropriate funds to the general ledger accounts listed as follows: a decrease in the expenditure line item identified as contingency in the amount of $32,330, and a corresponding increase in the expenditure line item entitled infrastructure improvements and extensions.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the budget amendment for the underground fault locator?
So moved. Second.
All right, so we got a motion by Councilman Johannesson, second by Vice Mayor Stanley. Any questions on this item?
I got a question. So when did this piece of equipment fail? Because we put it on the website as an emergency contract and didn't get awarded to October the 31st. Why haven't we heard about this piece of equipment failing before now?
You did. It was in my weekly report, which I submit to you on
Maybe
a
I'll
regular
overlook
basis.
that. Maybe I'll overlook at one point.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, without this equipment,
Okay.
the underground lines, we have no way of identifying.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
That's very, very critical for underground location for faults and all that. You've got to, that's not like overhead where you can see a fuse out or whatever, but that's very critical.
And have we gotten it?
We do. We're using it.
Okay, all right. All right, any other questions? Roll call.
Mr. Haley,
Aye.
Mr. Foreman,
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson,
Aye.
Mr. Carson,
Aye.
Mr. Stanley,
Aye.
Mr. Updike,
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, the next one is a budget amendment for furnishing the police facilities at Liberty Lake Park.
Police Department is requesting a budget amendment to allow for furnishing and a change order towards the new off-site facility located at the previous recreation building in Liberty Lake Park. Quote was received from National Business Furniture LLC for a total cost of $8,690.09. The remaining $2,023 relates towards additional funds needed from change orders processed on the renovation of the interior of the building. The revenue account for court fines and forfeitures is currently $8,694 over the adopted budget as of November, and anticipates additional revenue to be received through the fiscal year end of June 30, 2025. Staff recommends appropriating funding from the revenue line towards the capital improvement account for the public safety building. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the below budget amendment, which will appropriate budget to general ledger accounts as follows. Increase in the revenue line item identified as court fines and forfeitures, $10,714. A revenue increase in the line item identified as transfer in general fund, $10,714. And an expenditure increase in the line item identified as transfer to general capital projects, $10,714. And an increase in the expenditure line item identified as public safety building, $10,714.
All right, do we have a motion for the budget amendment for furnishing the police facilities at Liberty Lake Park?
So moved.
Second.
So we got a motion by Councilman Haley, second by Councilman Foreman. Any questions? Just real quick, how close are they to getting in there?
As soon as we get an issue with the door locks fixed and they have a place to sit, we're awfully close.
Okay, all right, so it's pretty close. All right. All right, next item,
Still need a roll call.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, see, I knew I'm trying to get a,
You want to get out of here.
yeah, let's move. Roll call. I told you I'd mess up at least once or twice, Darryl. Roll call.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Johansson.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mayor Black. Motion carries, all members voting aye.
All right, next item is the budget amendment to purchase transformers for commercial development.
The electric department has received requests for service from two major commercial developments, including a hotel development and an electric charging station. Both of those developments will require the purchase of new transformers. The current supply chain delay requires that specialized equipment such as transformers be ordered almost a year in advance. The town estimates that the combined cost of transformers for these commercial developments will be approximately $118,000, with $30,000 attributable towards the hotel development and $88,000 attributable to the charging station. Town Council is requested to approve budget amendments which will appropriate funds to the general ledger accounts listed as follows: a decrease in the expenditure line item identified as contingency of $118,000, and an increase in the expenditure line item infrastructure improvement and extensions of $118,000.
All right, do we have a motion to purchase transformers for commercial development?
So move.
Second.
So we have a motion from Councilman Carson, second from Councilman Updike. Discussion, questions? Just a few thoughts and questions, and some of this goes back to some of the conversation we had a little bit about commercial development in Electric and Finance Committee, and I don't think we ever decided or finalized any decision on how to do this. But first question, so we're buying these transformers up front, anticipating that a project is going to get completed and done and come online. So do we have any kind of, when we do that with them, do we enter into any type of agreement, purchase agreement with them, or I don't think we do at this point in time, because we talked about also maybe starting to require like a bond, a letter of credit as part of the project, so that, if it doesn't come to fruition, especially if it's something that's kind of a very specialized piece of equipment. If it's a transformer we're going to use kind of on a regular basis, maybe that's not a big issue. But if it's something very specialized or that can is just specifically geared for a hotel or, charges. I don't know. I'm not saying that we need to hold that up now, but I think that is something we need to maybe as a future.
I can tell you as regards the charging station, the property owner there has received a grant to fund it, so we're aware of that, although we could
Right.
provide you with that documentation.
Right, okay.
But that's a good suggestion.
I just think, maybe going forward, as we see more and more commercial development, hopefully, we're definitely seeing some uptick in that. It might be wise to just kind of protect because we're putting that money up front now. So we're putting it out up front, but they'll still pay back over time. Is that part of the change in terms and conditions we talked about?
Yes, and our operating policies as well as our rate structures.
Okay, so we will get the revenue back over time. It's just we're fronting this kind of cost up front, I guess is the way to look at it. But anyway, that's not specifically, saying that needs to be a condition of this approval. I just think I just wanted to pass that along as something y'all might want to consider in the future. Especially if you get into, like I said, you get into some big industrial, kind of project or something like that you're going to have to put up a lot of money up front,
It's going to be
You want to make sure they're going to, be there to get your return on it. But anyway, that was just some thoughts I had on that. Any other questions from Mr. Warner or comments or? All right, roll call.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson.
Aye.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mayor Black. Motion carries. All members voting aye.
All right, the next one is, let's see, the budget request for the stability study from FERC, request for relicensing at Snowden Dam.
Town of Bedford is contracted with WSP for engineering services related to the relicensing of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, license for the Snowden Hydroelectric Generation Facility. FERC has communicated that the town of Bedford needs to provide a stability analysis for the building located at the hydro facility. WSP has provided a cost estimate of $27,600, which would include stability analyses, drawings, and filing the response with FERC. Since these estimates do not include any additional analysis that may be required from further FERC requests, staff would like to recommend adding a contingency to the project of 10% for a total budget minimum of $30,360. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the below budget amendment, which will appropriate budget to the general ledger accounts as follows: a decrease in the expenditure line item identified as contingency, $30,360, and an increase in the expenditure line item identified as hydro facility projects of $30,360.
All right, so do we have a motion for a budget amendment for the stability study?
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion from Councilman Updike, second from Councilman Foreman. Any questions, comments? Obviously, just one real quick question. So this study is obviously required by FERC as part of the approval of our relicense. It
Yes,
sounds like.
and the concern is the
Dam
condition of our almost 100-year-old facility. Yeah.
But then we also had appropriated some money to do a study for the feasibility of doing some
Expanding
additional
capacity,
work.
yes.
And would that have been? This isn't going to be overlap, is it? I mean, that would be a different study that wouldn't have included this anyway. Is that?
Unfortunately, no. It would have been great if it were.
Okay. All right. I just want. Yeah. I just wondered.
I
if
think
they
this
were
is one of those
gonna-
cases where as we go on, they said, hey, by the way, the thing's 100 years old. Look at it.
Yeah. All right. No problem. Any other questions? All right. Roll call.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson.
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries. All members voting aye.
All right. Next item, request for electric costs to serve reduction, D-Day Homestay LLC.
D-Day Homestay LLC is requesting assistance with reducing the Bedford electric cost to serve fee that will provide electric service to the new hotel site at Burks Hill Road and Tiger Trail. The Cost estimate is $65,328.05 in order to reroute service on the site for the hotel building and to add needed electric infrastructure to serve the hotel. There is also a cost from Shentel to relocate their coaxial and fiber infrastructure to Bedford electric poles in the amount of $15,100. The developer is responsible for that cost. Bedford Electric has already removed 2 poles and added 3 on site and still has underground primary lines to transfer service at a later date pending activity from Shentel. The estimate also includes 1 transformer. Tonight, Town Council is requested to consider reducing or waiving the cost to serve fee provided by Bedford Electric.
Before we take a motion, is this something we want to kind of discuss a little bit before we have a motion? I'll let, if anybody's got any questions, I've certainly got a few.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right, Mary, do you feel comfortable giving us any, I mean, Mr. Patel's not here this evening, is he, to give us any type of update on where he stands on the project or anything, or do you feel comfortable doing that, or?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, to your first question, no.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, the first question, Mr. Patel's not here. And that's fine. I mean, if you know, because obviously, maybe let me start with some of my thoughts first, and because obviously, one, the town cannot give the money as a kind of an economic development, so it would have to flow through the Economic Development Authority. Am I correct there?
Then that is where the question started from the developers. Are there incentives that exist that could help with offsetting these costs for the electric infrastructure?
And that's where I would say, yes, we've given him $2.2 million in tax rebates and $220,000 towards the sewer improvements. So, but anyway, that's, we have provided him a good bit of incentives, so that's one thing. But, and so the other piece that I don't know if it makes sense is if council decided to add this to the economic development incentive package, say, should we also incorporate that in as an amendment to the performance agreement that we currently have with the hotel developer?
There are several ways that I think you could do that mechanically. I'll leave that to legal counsel for that, but that would be one method. If you did that, we'd also need to amend the performance agreement with the EDA, because those are 2 things that work in tandem for providing the incentives that have been committed. Not actually given, but remember, just committed. Right. Based on performance.
Right. And that's why kind of, an update from Mr. Patel to council, where he stands on, because there's been some benchmarks, and when we extended the performance agreement last time, there were some benchmarks, so it would be nice to know how he's approached, how he's met those benchmarks. The first couple, the third one, the big one, it doesn't, I don't think, come up till February, the moving some dirt and stuff, but so I don't know. The other piece to this too is this kind of an awkward moment, because being this is the last, this last meeting of this council, if we approve something subject to saying that we would like to see something amended in the performance agreement, and then the next council, who's going to be a new council, has to almost take that, decision we made and now incorporate it into a performance agreement. Does it make sense to table this and let them just make that decision all? So those are my thoughts. Mr. Carroll, anybody, or council, any other, but or if everybody's comfortable saying we're going to give them 66,000, some more money right now without some more details or some more teeth to giving it to him, I don't.
Mr. Mayor, I do agree, if you're going to give it to him now, it would have to flow through the EDA like you suggested. If you wanted to table it, then you could consider amending the performance agreement, adjusting targets or benchmarks if that were the council or the next council's inclination.
Right. Any thoughts?
I think we should table it until we find out a little bit more information. That's my fault.
I've had some concerns about this, and what you've explained, I've gone both ways. Certainly, we don't want to hold the project up any more than we can, but yeah, I'm probably in favor of tabling it until we get some more information, and maybe Mr. Patel can come talk to us and explain a little more in detail. But we've given him a very good incentive package. I don't know.
And there's maybe a way to incorporate this in,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
that, hey, okay, yeah, as long as you meet your benchmarks, you live up to the performance agreement, you know, you pay it up front, we'll pay you when you know, I mean, there could be ways you could structure this to hold, you know, to incentivize him, I guess, to kind of.
And there's been some hiccups, roadblocks that he's run into. I understand that. And it slowed the project down. But again, I think we do need to maybe take a good hard look at this and see if this is what we want to do, or
I think it needs more conversation.
Yes, much more conversation.
This is not something we need to do.
Yeah.
I agree with that, because it asks for us to either waive the cost, reduce the cost, so we need to discuss where we.
Yeah.
I mean, whether we want to do nothing, or we want to do a little, you know, it needs more discussion than just, and he's not here to tell us what he's looking for either.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have John here too. You know,
Yeah.
John's obviously at the board of directors for AMP this week, so I think it would been nice to get his take on,
He
you know.
could give us more insight on all the moving parts, so to speak. Yeah.
How much of this is our discussion and how much of this is EDA's discussion?
I've just gone through.
The money comes from you, so
Yeah.
it's gonna flow from, through the EDA to developers.
We hold the purse strings.
Yeah.
You know, and it may be there need to be a joint meeting between to discuss it. I don't know, or maybe I don't know if the EDA has discussed this. Probably hasn't discussed this at any of their meetings. Jonathan said they haven't had a chance to really talk about that as well. So, yeah, I think tabling it. That's okay. I mean,
Neither are we, so.
Right now, and there's not a lot of activity over there. I think in my opinion, some of the early due diligence by the engineering firm, in my opinion, they should have identified this dirt, how much dirt he would need within 2 or 3 weeks of starting the project. It was much later than that, so he's trying to find dirt, and I'm not sure where he's at with that right now.
Right.
So that's delayed the starting of one of our, in October, he was supposed to start throwing dirt on that property. Right now, he's got till the end of February to have the dirt complete, so. And then by the end of March, he should have footers in place, and then our performance agreement will be clicking right along. If some of that gets delayed, then we're gonna have to go back to the performance agreement and modify things. And this could be a good time to look at this, add and subtract or whatever we do at that point going forward. I was hoping he would be here to give us kind of a heads up on what's going on. But so I would, if I was you guys, I think we really need, that agreement has to be approved by us and you. It's not one way or the other. Obviously, if you guys felt strongly about adding this, we would agree to that. It's not, I don't think there would be any problem, but right now I think we need to see how our benchmarks work out and then go forward in March. That's what I would suggest.
all right.
I'm thinking.
All right. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
And before I leave, I just want to say, we had 2 big projects. The hotel was one of them, and the Winoa project. And that one in particular both of them wouldn't have happened with you guys' support. And all 3 of you, councilmen, were really key in this. Mayor Black, I got the morning calls for some of the ones.
Noon and evening.
Yeah.
I got y'all out barking. Let's go. Come on.
There was a lot of work on all of those projects. And just while I'm up here, the update, the hotel is obviously what's going on there. But the Winoa, we have 2 grants. One's a $100,000 grant for from Virginia DEQ. That is well underway. We went out for bids, got a dream team put together, an architectural firm, an engineering firm, an economic development firm. They teamed up and gave us a great proposal. They got the contract. In fact, we're meeting tomorrow with four big businesses. I don't want to name any names, but it's just to go over what they would like to see in this metal fabrication trade school type concept. We've already had a kickoff meeting with Virginia Tech. The Navy is in support. Everything seems to be coming together, but it still doesn't have the momentum that we need to really to talk too much about it. But it's going good. We got that report should be finished sometime in June. So that will be the master plan, and we can go to various places like Richmond to get more money, or wherever we have to go at that point. That report will tell us, hopefully, where to get more money. The second big grant was a $316,000 grant, which was awarded to a company out of Raleigh, the Raleigh area, to come up to clean the facility up. That will start. They're deploying on January 6th. They'll be here for about 5 or 6 weeks. And after that point, it'll be actually clean enough to where we can invite the council for a tour or something like that at that point without getting dirty. It's pretty dirty inside. So things are clicking along.
Thank you for that update, John.
Appreciate that.
Support.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right.
Thank you. Keep up the good work.
So did we leave too soon?
Yes, sir.
So we have a motion to table.
I'll make a motion with table.
All right. So we have a motion by Councilman Haley to table it, second by Councilman Updike. Any other discussion? All right. So roll call.
Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Johansson?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion to
I
table
was gonna say, how do
passes
we
with
take it off the
all members voting aye.
next council?
All right. So,
Since it's unanimous, it's not an issue.
next.
I'm sorry, we were just talking about procedural matters.
Yeah, because I was
At
thinking
some
about that,
point,
too. If we table it, who can take it off the table?
I think
this,
the next council
correct.
can,
Okay.
but since you didn't send it to a particular date, they
That's
will have to affirmatively remove it from the table.
Okay,
They're
all
gonna
right.
Take it up.
You got that, so you do. Todd?
I'll talk to Deborah.
we got you covered.
You got that?
Can we call you? We'll figure it out. Video call.
All right, good deal. Next item is amendment of section 4632 of the Town Code, Special Collection Services.
Currently, the town code indicates that the town will not pick up leaves left in the public right-of-way by licensed commercial contractors. Based on questions received from citizens about this policy, staff has revisited the matter and finds no practical reason for such an exclusion. As a result, Town Council is requested to adopt the ordinance approving the amendment of Section 46-37B of Town Code, deleting language stating that the town will not pick up leaves left in the public right-of-way by licensed commercial contractors.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the amendment to section 4637B of the Town Code?
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Updike, second by Councilman Haley. Any questions, comments?
Are we having any problems? I guess I'll just ask.
The problem is, the law says we don't do it, but I will tell you,
Our policy?
practically, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
Because it
know.
doesn't matter to us if it's the Boy Scouts or Joe's Tree Service. It's at the curb, we need to get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted, it says licensed commercial contractor, that's why.
And this
I don't know, we don't know why I was in there.
Yeah. And keep in mind, this is just leaves. This is not
Yeah.
brush, tree, debris. Yeah, this is leaves.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We'll talk about that in a second.
Don't matter what it is.
all right. Any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Johansson?
Aye.
Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
Next item is amendment to section 4639 of the Town Code, refuse not acceptable for collection.
Current language of town code creates an exception in the list of refuse that is considered not acceptable for collection by the town. Specifically, it states that construction debris will be collected during spring and fall cleanup events, despite the fact that such refuse is prohibited from collection at all other times of the year. Staff has reviewed this language and finds that this inconsistency creates a practical hardship from both a code enforcement and operational perspective. Town Council is requested to adopt the ordinance approving the amendment, Section 46-39 of Town Code, deleting language which creates a specific exception for collection of construction debris during spring and fall cleanup events.
All right, so do we have a motion to adopt the ordinance approving the amendment of Section 4639 of the Town Code?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Vice Mayor Stanley, second by Councilman Haley. Any questions on this one? Nope. Roll call.
Mr. Johannesson?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, next one is an ordinance to changes to building code provisions of the Town Code.
Gary McIver, the town building code official, has recommended changes to the town code in order to make these code provisions conform to current provisions of state law and the current configuration of town departments. The town attorney has prepared the attached ordinance to enact the changes. Section 10-11 of the town code currently has a number of fees in it that are now low or otherwise outdated. The town attorney suggests removing this section entirely, but doing it as part of the budget process for fiscal year 2026, and then incorporating these provisions into an annually adopted fee schedule that is part of the town budget. Tonight, we recommend that council consider adopting the ordinance with a deferred effective date of the repeal of section 10-11 of July 1st, 2025.
All right, so we have a motion to adopt the ordinance with a deferred effective date
So move.
of July 1st, 2025. Do we have a motion by Councilman Carson?
Second.
Second by Councilman Updike. Any questions, comments? So this is basically just getting us to, getting us to match up with state law. Is that correct, Gary? And then two, just making some changes to our fee schedule, but that will be part of the budget process. Then those fees will be voted on and discussed and adopted as part of the annual budget process. And that'll be done annually, is that correct?
That's the intent.
Okay. All right. All right, any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Johannesson? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Carson?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
You don't have anything else? You loaded us up tonight there, Mr. Warner.
You can still revise the agenda if you want to.
I know you don't want to leave, but
No,
I'll be here as long as you want.
Sir,
Mr. Mayor, I have one thing to say.
yes, sir.
Gentlemen, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
We're adjourned.